Hi guys, this is MegaDragonoid. As you probably can see, we're playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This might be the last one we are doing. Like the legit last one of this game, the trilogy game we have. And yeah, how many people saw this coming? That Maya was actually still alive. As he's actually channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Even yeah, when Dahlia...
She's possessed by Dahlia Hawthorne.
Maybe or maybe not, because Dahlia actually wanted to kill Maya, which was kind of the opposite side.
Yeah, so why would she want to possess someone that she wants to kill?
Yeah.
Dahlia Hawthorne wants to and on Mia Faye. So to hurt her the most is to kill Maya Faye. That was the plan, yes.
So there is something going terribly wrong here. And we did say for Dahlia Hawthorne's ultimate punishment. And Dahlia still thinks Maya is dead. Let's see the truth. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
Maya is still alive?
You say she's here in my courtroom?
Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I misunderstood one thing, you see.
Oh, what?
I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At least at this very moment, who is challenging Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why that? Obvious. It's Pearl Faye, that pathetic little sniffing rant. Oh.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I never feel that's channeling someone. This is the first time it happened.
Isn't there an explanation why you couldn't channel in spirit?
It could happen if somebody else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone called me before Pearl did. But who?
Pearl tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What should that mean? I think the truth is coming clearer to write about now. Am I correct?
Ah!
It wasn't Pearls that challenged you. It was someone who called you before she could.
Maya Faye.
This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Come on already. I can't stand attention.
Dahlia Hawthorne, the person challenging you right now must be Maya Faye.
What? But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal?
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Faye.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya challenged the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her...
Well, Gramps, what should happen?
Could it be?
Looks like you'll finally understand, Your Honor.
I don't. What are you going on about?
What am I going on about is the reason why I challenge you. Is there only one reason? To protect herself from you.
To protect herself? From me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path to Asakura Temple was closed off. There was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where should the safest place to hide?
You mean that's trying to channel me?
All this time you thought you had been challenging pearls, but by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. And Maya's hiding place was you.
No! No! Don't say that!
Wow, look at that face! Damn!
You think that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya K killed herself. Isn't it obvious?
Sorry, but no. It should have been impossible for her to jump in the Eagle River. This is the only avenue escape open to Maya. The only way the Maya could have disappeared from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. How could F have ever given us such a brilliant idea?
No, certain Misty Faye, maybe? Whoa!
Oh, pearls! We're back with Mia!
Mia?
Mia!
Mia Faye. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
And the judge is like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Oh, that's...
So it's true. It was you.
Yes.
You're something else.
But what? What are you doing here?
Your hair. It's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Faye. Actually, Maya lost unconsciousness at the same time as you.
She did?
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me that I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was?
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It's time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible and lock herself into the sacred cave until help arrived.
It was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why did you order her to do those two things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fae.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearl didn't probably understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan's Fae's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have been turned out very badly, to put it in mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne should have used the body of Pearl Fae to kill Maya at all cost.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this!
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure.
Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended up in failure.
What? How dare you!
11 years ago. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet Dahlia Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid of a prisoner and that weakling of a police woman!
And then 1 year later, he tried to kill me.
Huh?
Well, I'm still alive, but... you would end up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. There's one stupid move after the other for you. It's no longer funny.
You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face!
And now this. You messed up again. Let Mia Faye escape. Even though you... Maya...
Mia?
Yeah, sorry. Maya Faye. Even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Faye! Mia Faye! Mia Faye! Mia!
Damn! You're getting so much of your role! Oh, damn! I think I never want to be on your bad side!
That just flopped on my headphones? Ow.
Censor! I was supposed to kill Maya Faye like I swore I would! And if you, only you had gotten the spiky your jerky, guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death!
True.
But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you just say? Whenever you are alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity.
I remember what you said early in the trial. You said there was no other way we could punish you because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said even when a body dies, the spirit of the eagle lives on forever.
That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you never be able to escape from. Huh? For all of eternity, you have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burned to a crisp. You're wrong! It can't be! How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Mia bodies. Come out of Mia bodies right now.
There she goes. There she goes. Look, there he is. Look, look. There she is. That's her. Oh God.
The rat demon.
That's
I'm
terrifying.
not ready. Not ready to go. Bye. You. Yeah, ceiling. The ceiling is being wiped off. Oh, what she did. And she got her punishment. Oh, there is
Maya's back.
Nick, sis. And she falls down. Poor thing.
You call it.
Oh my God.
Now then, I assume you are the real Iris?
Yes. I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Goddard, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Yeah, I don't think they will.
No, I don't want to channel that red demon. Your Honor?
Yes, what is it?
About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be the concept now.
Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Kurain channeling technique.
Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of the Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
I never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Seriously? Got it? You're a little too fast with that gravel, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Goddard?
This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means.
What? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out her dagger and got from the storeroom. And it's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Ooh! Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right.
That person was the ultimately killed, was the spirit medium that channeled the Dahlia. Elise Darksman, no, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it.
Dahlia Hawthorne.
This isn't over yet?
It wasn't Dahlia Hawthorne, it can't have been.
Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way.
But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
A final witness?
This one will clear the whole mystery. The mystery who killed Misty Faye.
Indeed.
It is real, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney.
Very well then. Who is this final witness?
Huh. Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
The one who saw the murder take place?
Sister Bikini.
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. And the prosecutor calls Maya Fate to the witness stand.
Very well. But first, we'll take a brief reset. We'll have to wait for Miss Fate to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Wright, I got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a feint of understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman has always seemed to be dashing in at the last minute to save you. You got some nerve, but that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
February 10, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me.
But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they already had switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. Cavern.
I wanted to be at least be in defendant box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. Something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
You had tried to get help the secret cavern yesterday. You shouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
Oh, my sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother and never got any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had a sister Bikini who was like a mother to me.
If only Dahlia had come with me to the Hazakura temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was so too cowardly.
At last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up
that was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But incident there, of course. Some people suspect that my sister was involved in the murderer.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, two defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I have to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
The night of the murder, person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Alex Dogsman, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Beep. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got to the snowmobile and headed to the inner temple. But
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
certainly. We can't just leave the body here. So you got to do this exactly as I say, got it?
Yeah, again, it shows like...
It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body as she wouldn't bleed too much. The stuff that Mystic Elise always held.
So that was that they used to keep her in position. That makes sense. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But wow, why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know what the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shichisitsu. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called you on the cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see.
Defendant!
Yes?
The judge is calling you. He wants to see you at his chambers. He has some question about Dahlia Hawthorne.
All right. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. She wants to tell me. He has a crush on us. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix.
Mia, how is Maya doing?
Just physically, I'm not worried. She recovered completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. Don't mean she learned how to. She learned who Elise Oxman really was?
Yes, I went to the medication office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trail is about to restart.
The real
The real killer. Do you know who it is yet?
Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple. The criminal wasn't there, just there to be accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning.
One more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side of the pendulum.
What am I also thinking? There's still that one particular thing what Pearl said, unsolved. Remember that her papers were already opened?
They were opened and burnt.
No, they were first opened before she even read it, because Morgan Fay told where it was hidden. But when she found them, they were already opened. Well, she definitely had them closed beforehand. Remember that?
Somebody was trying to stop Dahlia's master plan.
Dahlia and the entire case about, well, we already know the DL6 incident, because that's all that keeps happening, coming back and back and back and back and back.
Yeah.
It's been a never-ending circle with that one, and now it's coming to a close.
In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck at the inner temple site for almost an entire day.
Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in the Hazakura temple the following day.
That's much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. Exactly, Maya see anyway. Who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me and all by myself. Me and I are myself. Can't remember the song, but you get what I mean. And I'm taking a quick toilet break and getting some ice.
Ice in the day in the day of the Halloween? What?
Well, somebody has his heater on, and it's not me.
What?
Somebody has his heater on. Heater on max.
Not me. Oh yeah, I'm back. How's the chips Cruelty. What you missed the entire crime scene make.
I'm back. Let's save the save, because we need to save. Here we go. Here we go.
February 10, 3:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7.
My phone was being an idiot.
Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier.
Test?
Yes, test on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh yes, that. I totally forgot about it. Yeah, I mean, to be honest. The weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or...
Due to time constraints, a test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood.
Oh?
That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial.
So it wasn't Misty's Faye blood on the dagger. And who was it?
I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
I understand, Your Honor. From what have I heard, the witness is dangerous, weak, civilly speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed.
Very well. Please bring in the last witness.
Witness, tell us your name and profession.
Maya Fey. My profession is, I am the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Ah, yeah.
According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the terrain channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh yeah, the pain the faint bloodline caused must be unbearable. Hello?
Very well. Very well. Now then, Miss Fay. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Dawson's murder. Is this correct?
Objection.
I didn't see anything.
Straighten up this instant, young lady.
Huh?
Pick up your head and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact.
Jesus, guy's heartless.
But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You have been watching this whole time, right? You have seen the winners come out and squeeze. You have seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Witness, if you please.
yes, Your Honor.
Here we go, at the inner temple.
I was passing to the garden on the way to spare rap room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya, the person who hit you, was it Dahlia Horton, was it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Huh. Can't say it, but it says a good night for you young ladies to be walking around alone.
It seems that it would be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. Doesn't look well at all.
The inner temple.
Help me, bruh.
Alright, you need to press on the fourth statement.
2, 3, 4. You think you screamed, but you're not sure.
Listen, I was in a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man? A woman? Adult? A child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robe.
I thought this person might detect me, so Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought it was my last hope.
It sounds like the poor little Maya was really out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her further? Details?
Yeah, you say my last hope thing, yeah.
My last hope?
Wait a minute, Maya. You said this my last hope stuff.
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No, 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 that's what you said. You said my last hope.
What? I said what?
Look, you were facing an attacker you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me."
Yeah.
You testified that you screamed because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call when it happens?
It's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
Well, what did you say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That who was I was screaming for to help. Ah!
Well, what is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let it slip out.
Huh?
Since Justin is at the toilet.
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person.
I am, well, I meant to keep that part a secret. Ugh, what have I done?
It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
A ton of pressure?
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up and try to hide things in this chamber.
Witness, the information you just presented is fatal to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
Back now.
Hello!
Welcome back.
Of course, the judge was actually, to keep you in status, Justin, the judge was asking why she was screaming, and she saw and Maya explained that there was another person behind the attacker of her.
Okay.
So I did 3 lines for the judge right now.
So what's the next thing we need to do?
Okay. Let's see now. Do. So you need to present the stone lantern at that statement.
The stone lantern at that statement. Stone?
So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dogsman, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer?
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hadn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Uh-huh. What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, Stone Lantern was out of commission.
What? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the core garden that night.
No!
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Goddard, explain this!
At the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of the coffee stir. That's the state of the winner's mind right now. A cup of cafe a lot.
That's it.
Cafe au lait? Is that even legal?
Mr. Try words are the milk, and you're the spoon, Your Honor.
I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know.
I
You
thought
must have
Maya was
noticed
milk.
too, Tried.
I thought Maya was milk and Phoenix was sugar. Don't think too deep, boys and girls.
This winner's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she wouldn't make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What do you say? There's truly no light in the garden, and there's a fatal contradiction within the witness' last bit of testimony.
Nick!
May I? Recall the witness' statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't knew if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, witness describes a person that was behind her attacker. Quite clearly, she described him as a man. In other words, that would have mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite being so dark that couldn't see the face of her own attacker. Seriously?
Order! 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 What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faith saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection.
Try. Do you have any idea what you are proposing?
Yeah, I'm just checking something because somebody messaged me.
With a spam and a link and that you got hacked? Blah
No.
blah blah blah.
Somebody on Facebook. Right, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. Oh, but there was, probably.
Yeah, there was probably a light source that she could recognize. I know who it was.
Yep. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Goddard. Maya, did you saw who the killer in the dark was in the dark? And now, are you trying to cover for him?
For the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know this man, who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Huh. You're talking like a good game, Tried, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was placed back, so what could have the witness see? I'm calling you bluff.
Nick, don't. Please, stop.
Maya is dead set on protecting this person. Guy, man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you saw Miss Faye that your famous face saw in the darkness.
Why do I? How do I feel it's him?
It's him.
It is
It
him.
is him.
It's the only thing that can give light.
Wait, I know I got guidance that it could be him. He's read the letter that was for little Pearl. He knows that he must stop the killer from killing Maya Fey, but accidentally hurt her mother.
Yep. Because we know he was going out for a hunt to make sure that Dahlia Hawthorne is stopped. Because Dahlia Hawthorne made a serious crime that wasn't accepted as a crime.
Yeah, because Mr. Goddard here is friends with Mia.
Yeah. Because he was majorly upset how his old partner died and that was an attorney. And by any luck...
Let's go!
Because it was pitch black, Mia Fey was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court will like to see... Maya. To see...
Miss Face.
Okay. To see it itself how it is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
It's easy. You just need to recreate the contradictions on that night.
Your conditions?
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all lights of this courtroom be turned off.
Just like that. What? This is... But it can't be.
Ah.
Dude.
That is creepy. That is creepy.
I'll be back. It was nice, a nice bit of addiction tried.
Throw a coffee at him.
Well, everyone, this is the man who Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Order! Order! Order!
Give me a moment.
Prosecutor got it. What is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Ah. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, what about it? What you saw that night? Was it real glowing red lights?
Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya.
I thought the person who stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
Oh, what?
Objection.
Stop your chatter, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but
The killer.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place has totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all the snow around, the snow lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Hmm. So, it was after the crime took place that witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Goddard said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Well, hit me.
Alright, so you need to press on the third statement.
The torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene has changed.
Going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
And so it's hard to see how it will be an advantage to the killer. The way it could be gain anything from that would be on the person that is in the inner temple at the minute that was Maya.
Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
So what
Alright,
now?
you need to press on the fourth statement. Is there one about the smell? The snow?
This one, yeah. This one is snow. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It looked really odd. Snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple. But they are all really heavy, so way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
Well, there's one thing I could think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victims blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The arena I slept ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purposely was to hide the bloody snow. Think of the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wants to hide the snow with blood on it, then we'll need to remove that amount.
That's true. Could he have scooped just the snow that was stained with blood?
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
I think this will help explain them.
Right,
Well,
you
now,
need to
bro.
You need to press on the second statement.
Second statement. This one.
Yes.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
Why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? It must be something that the killer just wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes, it felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. Your sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden.
She might have thought that you have done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now we present preambly?
You present the stone lantern on the new statement.
The body of Exilma was carried all the way to Osgura Temple courtyard. Then at the garden, the real crime scene of the crime, snow was suspected covered in blood was scooped up and removed. Reason to believe all this was done as in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, what could that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Goddard. The message is written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. The killer was motivated to protect Maya from suspicion. Then why didn't they wipe the writing of the lantern?
Ah, you're right. Order! 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 But, Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to remove the bloody snow. Well, not wipe the most normal thing of all, the bloody writing. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow? And then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer plan was, but in fact the killer writing on the lantern must be a reason for it.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? Because the killer didn't notice it.
Prosecutor Guard, early in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. Real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
Sarah?
Sting.
Okay, I'm here. But that doesn't make any sense. The soldiers were all in and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
You're right. There's no way any normal person would.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident. We'd also be missing seeing a bloody writing altogether.
Beep bop, beep bop. Beep bop,
And
beep bop, beep bop.
who would that be?
My uncle.
Don't forget that line, bro.
Got up, got up, got up.
Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing?
Godot.
Do I go?
Yeah?
Godot. Because he didn't see, because he has red goggles on, so he could not see the blood stain on the white pillar.
Yep.
That's the solution.
Mr. Got It. This is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I can't see everything.
Anything.
You can't see everything. Is that correct, Mr. Goddard?
This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern! There's something written on it! Well, why, it's written in blood!
Nonsense! This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Mr. Goddard, just admit it. There's a certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at the trash bin. This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bright was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on it.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Goddard. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain should that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain has appeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about the bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Huh. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those photos should have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can see them?
So then, Mr. Goddard, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Ghost is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Goddard, the defense at this time formally accuse you. You're the murderer of Elise Dogsman, also known as Miss Misty Faye.
Hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Huh. To make sure you don't fill out the indentation in red ink, Grimes. Come on, how does a little gravity make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written here there. I'm sorry that the killer was able to see the color red. That's rich. Go on, try it. The answer's right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow.
No. How so?
Well, for an example, how did the killer move all the snow? Jonah, you say it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not make out just that area?
Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Could it be?
Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had swept into the snow, and so he had to remove all the snow because he couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't more likely that the killer shouldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torch all lit. How could it have he been able to? He should have been able to see just fine.
It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Goddard?
Wondering when she was going to talk again.
Wait! Wait just a minute!
Maya!
What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple.
I think he did, but I can be wrong.
Until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
How can you even know? You were challenging Dahlia. How can you?
Objection.
Maya. You can't testify to something like that. After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senior, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After murder, this window was unconscious for a long time. Because he was challenging Dolly a Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Do you plan to cover Forgot It no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I have no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means going to the whole proof, I will say we should not silence her. Ah, Nazi done tried.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me as it were. But little Pearly was there to the inner temple too. After the incident. Pearly has to stuck in the inner temple side at night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Goddard arrived at the inner temple for the first time. Found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie.
Yeah, but you do.
She just admitted it herself.
She's way more honest person than I ever be.
Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ah. Prosecutor has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Goddard.
Let's just move on to cross-examination if the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright?
Let's get this cross-examination started. Okay, hit me, bro. We're going to end this to the...
You need to press on the very last statement.
This one. He cheered her up.
That's what Pearly said. She said he was very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Goddard.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Ah, get it out. Cut it out. You're making me blush. Guy really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. Truth is there aren't many places to look on the inner temple side. Policemen were all busy going all over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation on my own way, goddess style. Hop, hop, hop.
In the same way, I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style.
I'm only gonna see how I'm gonna say that's for karma.
Von Karma style, with everybody is fooling around. There will be a foolish fool that is just being a fooling around with the foolish action ever. And I will swipe that foolish out of it.
Maybe I should go ask some questions, Phoenix style.
Phoenix style.
Oh, this is great.
The Phoenix style.
There's more ego, but tell me, bro.
Alright, let's have a look. You ask about the investigation.
Borat investigation.
You said you conducted an investigation on your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Wright. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't miss it. So go speak for yourself, Goggles. The only thing I did discover was the beauty in the training hall. I had a hiccup. Beauty?
Bro?
Shut up. Misty fade naturally. Classic stunted Japanese carbots surrounding the body hue and arm of Western taste. Western taste? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So, from there, you headed for the prep room?
Wait a second. What did God just say now? I think I just found a probable weak spot. There's only one thing important is here. Where was God when the murder was taking place? He must have been already been at the temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Dogsman. Okay. What now, bro?
So, apparently you have to present the hanging scroll on the fourth statement, number 4, when he says that's when Mr. Goddard arrived in the temple. Yeah, that's the one.
Mr. Goddard, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went in the temple was long before the murder took place.
Why did you say that?
Because he just made a fatal slip-up. Thanks, call in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Goddard is right. That's cool. Shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge was repaired 2 days after the murder, The hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
What's that wonderfully delicious smell?
Gravy!
The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was as much as a component to the crime culprit. Well, Mr. Goddard, you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder. You wouldn't have any way of knowing it was Misty Faye.
Wait a minute, Nick!
Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top! There's a chest there!
Yes. Okay.
Press there! Bleh.
Ah, that. It's the marking of the master, correct?
So if you know the meaning of the mark... Ugh.
Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
True, but Mr. Scribe was underneath like this. Bathed in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by a hue of aroma of Western taste.
Oh!
Yes, it is possible that you knew what the crest meant. However, you shouldn't have known that she was wearing a Japanese clothing. Mr. Goddard, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Hidden Temple long before the crime took place. Can I just say one more thing, Wright? What is it? The whole theory of yours all rests on one certain assumption. Before I knew beforehand that the crime was going to be committed.
That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course, Mr. Goddard knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you just say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? Alright, so it says you need to present the burnt letter?
I think that's finally going to be answered. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Murder Faye uttered the plan for her daughter's future, and there were instructions were hidden somewhere in the Faye manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was take place at the Inner Temple. And you still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. You just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Goddard couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
But if he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
I got a scam mail again, guys.
Yay! Scam mail, that's deleted.
They're gonna be blocked. Hey,
So
Proviat!
scam and blocked forever.
I just blocked them. Fuck you. Well, go ahead, bro.
I said my line.
Okay. During a visit.
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearls, about where the introductions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. Should be only one time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center.
Yes, that could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like for an example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Goddard.
Order, order, order. Mr. Goddard, you're under fire again.
This murder couldn't have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness. That is coffee. I don't drink coffee. Sorry that I always ask, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped. Conversation during a jailbreak. This is where he learned of the hidden plans for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all just to protect this witness. That's right. If you are accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl has nothing but a stranger to me. I got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. Actually, you do. I am what you see as not of type to rescue damsel in distress. Oh.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word.
Oh, that's great.
Even considering that the killer wants to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Goddard? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it.
Maya, I guess you were doing best to cover for Goddard. The same reason, huh? Okay, Wright, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. My FA is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
That one person lies at the very center of this whole story. The one person that ties you together incredibly.
Mia Fey.
Do I hit it? Do I?
Yep, you do.
There's a very good reason why Maya Fey life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Faye's only sister. Yeah. You once worked alongside her. That's why when you were a defense attorney.
Second here.
Sorry?
Wait a second here. Mr. Goddard is a defense attorney?
With your honest personal intelligence, you must have figured it out by now. This real name of Mr. Goddard, who calls himself Goddard. His real name is Diego Amaro. Isn't that right? Last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case where a convicted named Terry Foss killed himself. Mia's Faye's first time in court, tragedy left out a deep wound in her heart. He knew that behind all the heartless, scheming demons in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Amaro, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's all my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Flawless killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her client, pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I threw an investigation that fake kidnapping incident. One fateful day, Dahlia Hawthorne wanted to meet up with me. Been 6 months the trial. We met in the courtyard cafeteria.
I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Oh my god, so he was poisoned! That was the truth, that attorney was poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. Though very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep coma.
Can poison
I
put
see.
you into a coma?
That's possible. There it is. That is the reason. Your body can so shut down. You mental conditions go so very low. Your body is kind of hibernating while slowly decaying. And maybe that's why he has glasses, because he can't see clearly anymore. That is his price to come back. It's like
So he got poisoned, and that effect had the eyesight actually damaged.
Indeed, he paid a price to come back to the living. My body shut down, and my life became nothing Nothing but a long deep sleep. The woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to damage it caused. There you have it.
No, listen, he's still alive. He didn't die. He's still alive. That's why.
Yeah, but there's
He
effects
said
now.
that he came back to life. That's impossible.
Well, it's more like a very deep coma. A dangerous
No,
coma.
he was a deep. No, that means that he was a deep sleep. That is actually brain death for some reason.
Hey,
That's
it's
terrible.
horrible, yeah. I had a colleague
No,
that...
that's what Maya here said.
Oh, sorry. I didn't pay attention. Sorry. Apparently, it was a miracle that I regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poisonous brew.
And yet he still drinks coffee.
And one day, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
Worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. The very moment I opened my eyes, I heard already I lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. The woman Loaf has been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalded coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Ah, good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. And
The end.
there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
Someone like me, for someone who has slept away their best days, there's only been 2 reasons left to live. It was there for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were those 2 reasons to live? The first was you, Wright. Huh? Me? Even I had the drink. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Okay. Even I didn't had drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would never have died, much as less way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. I wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
Justy.
That's why you became a prosecutor.
Another reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Korean village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in a perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overhear Pearls visiting with Morgan at the detention center. I knew the time was drawing near. As I knew the plan, I could have thought I could follow it. The plan was outright the plan. Thought I could do that. I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never have to help out.
No, she would never have to help out.
Fine, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Oscar Temple and Misty Faye. Zuzi needed the help of Iris. She had to take the fall in for my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye.
But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean, officially?
Have you heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? And then you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Crane had a great authority. Even without her official position, Faye still wielded a great influence. Police have been keeping an eye on her movement all this time. I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
It was always?
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. She wanted to know how strong her resolve to protect was. Look at her staff.
Staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day that the plan was to carry out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Oscar Temple. When your mother showed me her special staff, I realized it then how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye, if necessary. Yes, even if it means paying the ultimate price.
Mother.
That night, the night of the crime, there was one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dolly Hawthorne.
Well, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
Thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
He was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. That's why Faye had to do the channeling herself. Channel Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
You have to channel the spirit first. Then Pearls won't be able to do it herself.
So, possess Misty first. That's interesting.
Hmm? As Master of the Rain, Misty Faye's powers were superior. Sorry. So that's how it went down. Channel the Hawthorne so Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to.
What?
Be right back, guys. The dog is barking.
Okay.
This is an interesting case, isn't it, bro?
Uh-huh.
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself in the at the inner temple, just in case you needed to save from Dolly Hawthorne. Got it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, right? Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Goddard.
That's right. You're the real deal. And finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of doubt that you can finish this on your own.
This is a lot to take in.
Yeah. Maya. I'm going quick toilet break, I need one.
That's alright. This is so much to take in.
I heard the whole thing.
Oh, did you now?
From my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Goddard. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
So Goddard is a hero after all.
Yeah. Maya, I know that.
Nick!
Mom!
Nick! Mom!
That was so perfectly timed.
Nick! Mom!
Yeah, my mom suddenly called up on Skype like, seriously, right now?
Nick! Mom!
Okay.
Justin! Phoenix Wright!
But even so, it doesn't also leave him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
It's fair. Your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I will know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Mom!
Yeah, I will not be stop hearing that for a while from you too. And Letty, she did call me on Skype. You can hear, we hear it in the video when you guys are going to watch it. You will literally hear it, like around 2 hours.
Go, Justin!
Alright, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Here we go. The last round.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. No, it was actually ketchup. She wasn't Dato, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out, and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. But after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
So you don't remember seeing them?
The red lights.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but they disappeared all of a sudden.
Ah,
Things break right, even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Sorry.
Proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Okay, hit me.
Alright. Okay, here we go. You have to press on the 5th statement.
On the 5th statement. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you mean just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
And that scream you heard, then, was it Dahlia Harthorns?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. It was a man's voice.
What? So then, that scream came from the killer?
That's got to be it.
I think Dahlia Harton must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
It sounds like a reasonable discussion, but I still wonder. There's a contradiction.
There is a contradiction.
I'm sorry to say this, but the interrupter was sure to create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said she already had been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade in her staff had been already plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
She should have struck back with a sword that was already struck in her own body. Having that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. There's only one thing I can think of that could be used as this weapon here. If Dolly Hartoon had been stabbed in the back by the staff, I could have used to strike back at the killer.
There's a dagger.
Jam on it.
In the garden, with blood on it.
Naturally, the dagger the killer
Splatter.
brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh,
Splatter.
that's right. I forgot about that.
The jam licking good.
This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck in the pine tree. Yes, the detective found it this morning and brought it to me. Arthur struck back at the killer with this, as he managed to wound up him as well.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, we heard a lot of it. We'll all jam on it.
Looking good.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he's wounded. Because as we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Have you forgotten that the blood already has been tested? Ugh. Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere in his body.
His body.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. And the DNA of the blood will prove it beyond a shadow of doubt. And yes, Mr. Goddard, it should prove that it is your blood. Nice theory, tried.
Open the shirt, got up. I want it.
Come on, we are so close to finishing. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Order in the court.
Is this the end? Have I done it?
Indeed.
Even he won't be able to change the results of the scientifically test.
I tried so hard and yet to fall. Goddard said it doesn't even matter. He had to fall.
Let me ask you something, tried.
all.
Just it turned out that I'm the killer.
I
Do you
was the
really think
killer.
I'm going to be stupid enough to leave the evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. Dagger was found this morning by a detective brought to me. And there's already blood on it, correct? Even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtyard.
Courtroom, not courtyard.
Sorry. Courtroom.
Yes? What does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I should have washed the blade off and planted the other person's blood on it. That
Outside.
it can be. In any case, there's one thing I guarantee, tried. That blood doesn't belong to me.
It's jam.
Not a chance. What? Are we going again to the point that he...
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Yeah, right. Mia. Maya.
Maya.
Sorry, I just said it.
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Goddard had really been cut with a dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya. He just changed it. Maybe he just changed his clothes to contradiction that easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all.
Yeah, right.
Remember back the day of the murderer? Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple,
They have everything prepared.
Be prepared! Mr. Goddard was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Yuck!
Maybe he came bare above.
Order!
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Because they have staged it up so they can pretty much prepare just in case of emergency.
Prepare. Yeah, just going further. Come on, we need to finish this.
Did the judge just take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off the clothes before he committed the murder. That way he couldn't get any blood on them. That's impossible, Wright. You know how cold it gets up there late at night.
That's why he has a kimono.
After a few minutes with no clothes on, you would be frozen solid. Ah!
Yeah, like an ice lolly.
Ha! So that's all you got. I knew you were tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Meow were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. Meow were here. Come on, Trite. You can do it. Or not.
Going to get a scene to see.
Right?
Going to see the scene when Phoenix Wright and Mia Fey are pointing together.
I hope it is.
Yeah, that's. I think it's a fun.
There's so much to tell. You've accused Mr. Goddard of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
Question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Fact is, I have to prove it. The only choice I have. Thought that one, the rules of being a lawyer. I can't prove it. I'm going to bring you massive vengeance to reputation, just as you wanted it. We missed this music for so long! Ha, that's good. A fight it to the bitter end, right? Since there was just one piece of evidence you can prove your point. Why don't you go for the ultimate penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Goddard? Because it doesn't matter to me. I got one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You got nothing, Wright. So what do I do at this time? Like this. It's simple. I have to think outside of the box and approach from a different angle.
Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's see what you've got.
There's one thing I have to demonstrate in this very cross-examination. Killer was wounded. It was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing.
There's one place the killer couldn't have hidden his wound.
What did you say?
Hidden?
Oh, I think I can go without the clue, so let me first figure it out.
Oh, come on.
This is it, my last hint. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there wasn't blood stains on his clothes. I need to show how he hit the wound. It's the end of the line. Final stop, Wright. Let's hear what you got. This is where is the location where the killer hid his wounds. What the hell? Huh?
You better not mess up because...
Yeah, I know, and I can't we go back.
You gotta present his profile. Got its profile.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the profile, but I was like, okay. Okay, here we go.
This is your last chance because this is a whole damage situation.
Huh, I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What do I know is you've never been the half lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Wright?
Oh.
She was there for a second! She was there for a second!
Yeah, I saw it too.
What just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wounds.
Here it comes.
It's beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off the killer's son disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your mask. Of your face. Mr. Gutter, will you mind removing your mask if you have a dagger wound underneath somewhere? Then I will say this whole case is solved. Ah!
He said,
Come on.
show us the wound.
Oh, come on.
Wound.
You gotta
The
show it.
suspension!
You gotta
The
show it.
suspension!
Come on! Oh, come on! You've gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me.
And still the coffee. Just now, I just saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago. You helped that woman who put me to sleep by hiding a bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Maya die.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But you didn't care. You just kept on living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. Even you had the nerve to follow her in her footsteps as a lawyer. I never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot.
But I was wrong about you. I knew from the very beginning. Truth is, the only person I could never find in my heart to forgive was me.
You, yourself?
I was the one failed to protect Mia. Mia, no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harness of reality. I couldn't face Mia death head on, so I ran. I hid beneath a mask, threw away my true name. I couldn't deal
behind my true mask.
I even
Like
deal
the
with
Pokemon
being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up till just now anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there was one person that I should have gone and talked it to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
I didn't do it. I tried to get help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No, why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what was left on my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right in the situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I am not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night, the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, part of me must have known the truth. Truth that wasn't really Daria Harton standing there in front of me.
Huh?
Could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl, but I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming.
I must be dreaming.
I was not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. I was really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye. Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could have been simple the desire for revenge. Now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I wasn't the ignorant one. I just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The fantasy of defeating you in a courtroom. You were the one who made me realize more fully. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off as a true defender of the people. Objection!
Objection.
In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Goddard. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name, Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks. Your wound is bleeding. You forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. It must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma. I think I have been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando!
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only thing a lawyer can try is when it's all over. Don't tell me he...
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor?
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there's one thing. I like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize to me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I hardly believe it. He was going to do it. He was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly know each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister. You only met twice.
Huh? You only met twice?
The first time you met was on the fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armano at the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Duke Swallow was killed.
Oh, no way, it can't be true. I mean, during your whole trip, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
It was
What?
her? Oh my gosh!
It wasn't Dahlia?
Oh, this is her!
I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny.
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you for 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back soon as she possibly could because of the police investigation and their surveillance. Since she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Preparing for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she always ready to deal with you at the moment's notice.
Since she was already to kill me, don't you?
She hardly had too much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me the chance.
And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place.
But I couldn't get you. But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that ever happened.
That's a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you were partners in crime, and you couldn't ever confront her?
I think she must have noticed
What is what?
my feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I wouldn't have done whatever necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life or mine.
Iris.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dolly Arton was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
Wow.
So much to take in. How many cups of darkness have I drunk over the years? I even don't know. I tell you though, right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I ever had. Because it's filled with love. Don't you think so?
Hey! He said your full name correctly instead of Wright.
Yay! That's a new. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I think you're right. I suppose the trial is ruled of the murder of the.
Bro.
Hi, automatic.
Justin's line.
I went out of pilot.
The purpose of the trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Ellie Storkman. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
Look. I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant
Not
not
guilty.
guilty. Court is now adjourned.
We did it again.
Yes, we did it. February 10, 4:51 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 1.
I guess it's all over. Everything ended. Justice really served. Man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Of course, justice was served.
Oh, she's still in our body. Mia.
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Amalo. Man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean that verdict?
I think one day you understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing.
You were good out there today, as the defense attorney could ever hope to be. There is nothing more you can learn from me.
Mia.
You accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix.
I had a lot of cases, seen a lot of things, and along the journey I have found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya!
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Yeah? What did she say?
That night when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix, we'll save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on, get it out, will you, with the gloomy face? Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you everything you have done for us, Nick.
Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that happened? You're brutally attacked, even you saw your own mother murdered. Youch! For Francesca!
Well, as softy as always, Phoenix, right?
Hey! Hey! Oh, Gangbangers here!
Game's back. How about that? Excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, when did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Adrian and Francesca had been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick?
I heard he fell into the river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day.
Yes, he laid in bed, shivering from his fever with Iris' hood over his head.
Hey! That's my information, buddy!
Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisca.
I don't suppose.
I think this is the butts.
It's Gummy.
I knew it!
Oh, no Gummy. Oh.
There's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry!
What's with the long than usual face?
I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even one.
It's not true, right, Nick?
What? Are you asking me?
Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good.
No. Oh yeah. Their portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
What? Me? Why are you making that face, Heidi? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance.
Oh!
Do you really mean it? What are you, Pansy? Did I draw you well, too? What?
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Oh!
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and it's worth something.
Then you'll do it? Like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book, Fancy's Rippity. Ah!
Get carried away!
Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh?
Right?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Pearls? Where she have gone? Means you would have made beeline for Maya.
Oh, I go look for her. I'll be right back. Hey, Burley!
Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francesca, that's right. She lost her family fairly recently as well.
She lost her father.
Yeah.
I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean, now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edward, I think I'm starting to understand too. Yo!
Then tell me, Phoenix Wright. Who is Maya Fey being strong for?
Okay. Tell me, bro.
It's, for little Pearly.
Ah.
Pearl Fey?
Poor kid, after all, the reasons he worked so hard to follow the instructions, because he loved and believed in our mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. Sure, she believed in every last word, because he was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It even shows how truly devoted he is to Maya.
But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
That's exactly what Maya is putting on a brave face. Doing it for Pearl's sake. Till she can see her smile again. There he is!
Hey, so this is where you all were. Well, looks like we've got... Ouch! What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scurvy. My whip just seems to have to fly on its own.
Watch out! It's gonna whip me out of the road!
Oh no, it's tasted blood. Run!
What's up, Gumshoe?
Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of kind of going down a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight.
Oh, which French restaurant? Really?
Oh no.
Oh,
No, thank you.
It's him.
He's not what I think it is. Ah!
Pretty good work, Scurvy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe, you said first class fresh restaurant, you don't mean...
Yeah.
I know it. Ooh la la.
I mean, it's the only French restaurant that's ever been mentioned, so...
Yep, it's the only one. I knew it, we're doomed.
Come on, let's go everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal.
And it's only because of Maggie Poo.
Yeah, for Maggie.
Hey, you, crybaby, you're invited too.
Crybaby.
Oh, forget about me. Carl and I will be at the Lucifer Stack eating potatoes.
You know, Maya is taking an awful long time to get back. Still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh?
Bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, what is it, pal?
You guys go on ahead.
But what about you?
Maya and I will... We will join you guys once we find Pearl.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we definitely be there. We have a lot of celebration to do, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We are go on ahead.
Yeah, go on. We see you later. We're going to the snack bar meanwhile.
Don't keep us waiting, right?
We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I think of that pearls might have gone to.
February 10, Hazakura Temple main gate.
Hazakura Temple.
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're back again so soon?
Sister Bikini.
Sister Bikini.
I thought I'd be eating smashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Pearly's not here.
Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll.
Ah! Mummy? Someone clean it off.
It's got to be pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearly! Why? Why did you just leave me like that? Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Aww. I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
It is least that I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Burley. If it wasn't your fault, you didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie. Just make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here is all the thanks to everyone who was there for me. Huh? My sis, my mother, Mr. Amano, Nick, and you. Even one of you weren't there. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't be still alive right now. That's why I have to be strong for all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Misty Fairy. Oh wait, I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Misty Fairy. Yeah, managed to say so Bikini has that high pitch voice.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mr. Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you that she said to me that night, after dishonoring the good name of Karain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya's always in my thoughts. It's true. She's always be with me until the day I die. I feel sad.
Me, to be honest.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even in the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
You always will be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? Never take the charm off until the day you die.
The Master Talisman.
That thing that Misty kept by her heart would never take off. Wasn't the container that was important, rather what it was contents.
That's a photo. Mother.
It was only natural for living creatures fight to protect their own lives. What makes us human? Well, we fight for others. How do we fight for a harmony? Must you fight? That's the true measure of what human's life is worth.
Sure.
The attorneys are warriors who constantly challenged by that question.
Huh?
Oh,
Look at that! It's beyond Maya!
it's kind of the same with Pearl and yeah. Even when the
Oh,
bell
that's
is...
so adorable.
Sure is. Oh my gosh. Even when the bell is over, the bonds that connect us are severed. We always return time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Marlowe, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them.
Got a screenshot. Yay.
Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. This is a day to remember, a day when a lot of things were put finally to rest. Think we should celebrate what we have overcome today.
You can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I will be back for more training. I promise.
I know I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master.
Come along, Sister Kitty.
I'll make sure to prepare reservations for free when you come back.
Hey bro, do you know how close to finishing we are?
We are at the finish. I feel we are there.
All right, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is the battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I eat lots and lots of food tonight.
So cute. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservation for training is fine and all. Well, why for 3?
Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time, you can train right alongside us.
Huh?
I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Huh? Huh?
That will be great, Nick. We're going to do a special course, naturally.
Huh? 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 Huh?
That's a great idea after all, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? It would be a nice big meal before we come in next time, right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I could say one little thing.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
Well then, here goes nothing. Objection! And this is Sally end, guys. We beaten it.
Yeah.
I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Crane and the office manager of Wright and Cole office. I have to be a good big sister and really a Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not looked up and captured or something like that.
I really enjoyed this game a lot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of effort put into it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's true, Mr. Dick really is Mrs. Maya's knight in shining armor. We went to the special course and all in the way to the end. Actually, I hear there is some legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think it's a surprise to whoever making them a secret reservation.
So, to be honest, of the art style, I like it a lot. It can only have a bit more animation, so I will say give it a solid 9.
Maggie bought me a brand. I didn't even read that, bro.
I'm not touching! Controller is on the desk! Hands off!
I guess a dirty, shabby, old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir!
Don't worry worry about it. In the name of love, the man will throw himself silly.
So yeah, I really enjoyed how far we have gotten. We beaten the game.
Yeah.
We still have to go for 100%. Oh.
It's alright, I'm once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Corain expedition has been great success. I even got the Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, and said I must show you what I feel I have learned.
Oh, mean! But yeah, game style, storyline. Oh.
The Zaya and I started completing called Mascara Mascara Consulting. We have decided to stopping an evil plans all the criminals in the city. Oh, Motorist, cut it out, please! Pretty cute, huh? Well, else to say Francis criminal a kind of side business. I wonder if that is okay. Sometimes I think maybe we are one of the worst criminals.
But yeah. Game style, storyline, I like it a lot. It's really good done. Oh.
I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Doom Down Tigre. I lent him 5k and a tea set, a special 60, and one mixed with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it. Windhelf compromise.
Girl still gives me the creeps.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. Oh, hey bro.
I'm just old and in the way. A wrinkly, grumpy, cloud-nosed waste of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids threw the birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cry like a baby with a dirty diaper.
But yeah, all the puns and other stuff, the went a top 10. Oh.
As usual, we have few minutes of work to do. We hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elk. I hope everyone will get along. His name is Ramada. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would run perfectly.
Is that guy supposed to mean something to us?
It's just a little bit sad that you don't really know what to do for trophies. Oh.
My, more reporters! Since the murder, I've been there so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think a magazine like us would provide rules a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back.
But yeah, from like even like the trophies are really hard to know what you need to do, but still, amazing work. I like the game a lot. What about you two? Oh.
Your turn, such a respectable man, Feeny. That was so sweet of you. Anyone else to come visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy to constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little house shaped you hard to get a nosebleed.
So, what are your guys' overall score?
I would say 9 out of 10, I reckon.
Chiro?
A good 9 out of 10 overall.
Ah! Hit two! Objection!
Objection! Objection!
Hey!
What do you think, Sarah?
That's great.
Ah!
Got it. Objection! Von Karma.
I hit her! I hit that guy!
I got that. What's this? I'm back from a long vacation, and no one here is secreted. I guess it's where to come. My runners are going to stop a pretty quick now, but I got no one. I don't know what the kind of brownie secrets are going to was supposed to be anyway. Whatever all the flashing lights are switches, I realize it's all the explain alien. And now what I'm going to do with all those men who is, and this is exactly back for anyone. Doesn't really actually move. Oh, I'm going to have to jump and
That old lady is always the talker. Damn. Hey, Larry Butts.
What
I found something I love to do. Fancy's whippity whip trip is gonna turn our world on its head. I should have realized it was sooner. So standard, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist, a really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all.
That's for a first.
First time he thinks he's not a loser. Wow. Oh, look at that! Oh god! Oh god! La 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 la! Hey, got it!
Another one.
Okay. Got it. And we got it. Capcom.
And there we go. So if I remember, the next game of the Phoenix Wright series we're gonna do,
It's written like Ethan Zero.
games. I do remember the name. Just where is the list? I don't want that list. I don't want the game origin timeline. I want the game. Let me out. Games in order. That's what you. Chronological order. I do know where it is, just I need to look it up. Okay, so apparently our next game apparently is with Miles Edgeworth. Apparently.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to play as Miles Edgeworth, and luckily I got everything prepped. I got a good emulator this time. I do have to check which one of the two, but that's a minor problem. So yeah, guys, this is sadly it for this week. If you like the content so far, make sure to hit that sexy free follow button. And you can also hit the notification bell when you're going to see me live or put up a video. You can also go to our Twitch page. What am I saying? Yeah, Twitch page, which is MegaDragonoid on Twitch. If you just don't want to say his, you can go for his.
Well, my YouTube is just Parry's Man, my Twitch is just Parry's Miner, and my DeviantArt is Dr. Chester the First.
Hey, I didn't say DeviantArt yet, buddy, but okay.
No, I really gotta go to bed. Like,
I know.
really need to go to bed.
And yeah. Oh,
and
go
my
ahead.
YouTube is Princess Zero with a light blue hedgehog on it. You can't miss it.
Indeed. And you can also go to my DeviantArt, which is deviant.com/MegaDragonoid, or use if it's still that way. I am not sure which one. You can also go to my Discord server or Twitter page, which is both in the description below. And I wish you all a good day, a good week, and peace, my operators. Have a nice day, and see you in the next game.